And then the miracle, and that's what it was. And depending on which side you are, you're on the Seattle side, and life is wonderful after the most unlikely comeback maybe in postseason history, or you're on the Green Bay side, and you're trying to figure out exactly how a game that you singularly dominated in every possible way. Yes, you didn't get enough points out of the first half. Yes, you had 5 deep trips, which is a possible 35, and got 16. I understand that. Your quarterback clearly was not healthy yesterday. He's the worst I ever saw Rodgers throw the ball in a big spot. I thought he threw the ball terribly yesterday for him. And then came an unraveling. Then came a series of events that when you look at them, all of them, and when you have this kind of cataclysmic kind of collapse, usually you can look back on 7 or 8 plays that if the team that is collapsing makes any one of them, it's over for the other team. Everything has to fall right in a row. And it fell right in a row for Seattle, and everything went wrong from the point where Green Bay has the ball, 1st and 10, up 2 scores with 5 minutes left, trying to run the clock. From that moment to the time the ball landed in the end zone, in the arms of a Seahawk, that ended the game, they had to do every single thing wrong. And you can even go back to the fact that it was terrible coaching on the part of the Packers not to be prepared for a fake field goal in that spot, because what was the downside? They're trying a 4th and 10 field goal. All you do is you don't let anybody off the line of scrimmage without being completely blanketed. That's it. And if they kick the field goal, so be it. That's it. But don't let anybody off that line of scrimmage. And you let a guy off the line of scrimmage wide open for a touchdown that really was the first of so many things. Now, we can take all of them and just push them aside and say, collect the onside kick and it's over. In these comebacks like this, and these miraculous comebacks, there usually is an onside kick recovery. You go to that Houston-Pittsburgh bowl game this year, that incredible comeback. There were 2 onside kick recoveries. There's usually, you go back to the Dallas-San Francisco game back in the Starbuck John Brody era, and there was an onside kick recovery. There usually is onside kick recoveries in these games, otherwise you can't get the ball back fast enough and win. So, or tie. And this one had so many twists and turns, the 2-point conversion that never should have happened. The way Green Bay mishandled the clock in the final minute. Even losing the coin toss in overtime and putting a tired and bewildered Packer defense back on the field. So, I mean, if you're a Packer fan, you feel like you get hit by a truck. It is the worst of all losses for a franchise that has reveled in dynamic victory going back to the days of Vince Lombardi. This is a brutal loss. I would say the worst loss the Packers have ever suffered, and one of the worst losses I've ever seen any team suffer, because this game was over.